Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for tuning in. If the videos are helping you in your designing process, please smash that subscribe button, tap on that notification bell, leave me a like, and please leave me a comment to let me know how things are going in your part of the world. Also, if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, which I have one right in front of me, you can hit that super thanks button right below the video and check out the links inside for some jewelry equipment. Mastering Matrix Gold, a smooth transition from Matrix, will be Tuesday, February 13th, 11 o'clock Central Time, the second showing or live stream. And this time we're going to actually have somebody in there to answer all kind of questions. So I'm hoping to get a lot of those. So please, give me a shout out wherever you're at if you're able to attend the live stream. This from February forward, this show here on will be only for Matrix Gold members or Gym Vision members. So please. If you have a membership, please go ahead and register. I'll post a link in the description below. So please, I'd really like to see you there. So let's go ahead and get going on today's project. We'll get rid of that. We'll go ahead and activate all our viewports. We'll go to tools. We're going to make a little ballerina ring, I think they call it. Or at least back in my day they did. And we'll just accept that, and we'll go to gems, just a normal size 7, and we'll get gem on ring rail here. And this one we'll just kind of bump up just a little bit. And then also, just for fun, we'll go ahead and give it an oval shape. And we'll make it a little bit smaller, something like that. And then from here, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to grab me a ring rail or a gem guide, sorry. And I'm going to offset that a little bit somewhere maybe around here just for right now, and then drop it down somewhere, I don't know, somewhere around in here, and then hit enter. I'm going to go back and go ahead and slap on this head so we can get that out of the way. And I'm going to go to my head builder right here, parametric, and we'll go ahead and let's see, let's go ahead and put 6 prongs on this puppy. And let's give it a 1 rail. And I want to change that rail, make it a little bit more substantial and a little bit more design, something like this here perhaps. And then I will go in here and drag the overall height of it up somewhere maybe around here. I'll go back to my dynamic commands and go to level 4 on the head so I can get my rail right here, right? And then I'll just bump that up something like that there. And those prongs look like they're okay, actually. Let's go back and just check them. We'll take it out just a smidgen. 1.07. That should be more than enough. So we'll go ahead and maybe drag that up just a little bit more. Yeah, somewhere around there. All right, so we have this out here. So now we have this thing going on, and we're going to grab this and we're going to go ahead and slap a profile on it. And right away, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and change the profile to this thing here, and we'll go into our editor here, and we'll go ahead and snap it into the center of that curve, that gem curve, right? And so it's in the center, and we'll just go ahead and start doing some manipulation here. And we might have to bring that out a little bit, it looks like. And our overall height, 1.4, 1.9, that's okay. We'll drag it out a little bit. And actually, so we can kind of see what's going on, let's go ahead and activate auto sweep. So now we can kind of see how deep it's cutting into everything. And that doesn't look too bad, actually. But I do want to give it a little angle here. So I'm going to make that just a little bit slight angle. Just so they're kind of shining out, so that when the customer moves their finger around, it kind of just sparkles a little bit more, maybe just a smidgen more, something like that there. Right, and then I'll go ahead and accept that. All right, and I'll go ahead, pick my stone again, go back to my gems and grab me another offset curve. And this one we're going to drag out quite a bit. Go to my top view here so I get a better look. Something maybe around here, and then we need to drop this one down maybe somewhere around in this area. And we'll just go ahead and take it. Everything's parametric so far, so we can always go back and edit things, right? So I'll grab that offset curve there, and we'll just go ahead and gems on curve, right? And we'll leave that one alone because it's right where we want it. And we'll just swing these around and then bring that in pretty close, but without not passing it up, right? And then my start gem size, we definitely want to make those bigger. So we'll go something like this here, perhaps. And I want to check, see it's not even on this side, so maybe we should either bump those up a little bit or down. Let's see, those are pretty big stones. Let's bump it down here a little, and let's give it a little spacing. Where's our spacing at? The spacing's always a hard one to grab, and I can't see it really from there. So let's spacing, and there we go. That's a little too far apart though. There we go. That's much better. And we want to maybe take a look at our angle. We want to angle it slightly this way. And again, I'm going to put a little bit of angle on that so we kind of have a little flash going around, right? And let's see. We can pretty much, I think, take that. Actually, let's see what it looks like if I... There, I like that better. Nice and tight, right? And we have the north, south, east, west going on, so that's good. That's what I'm looking for, right? And it just barely goes in there. That's probably okay with a little bit of. That's probably fine. That way we're getting a lot of stone showing. But if, maybe you want to offset it just a little bit more, you can always go back to your curve here and maybe just bump that in an extra tenth or something like that. And just make sure that you got your north-south going on okay, and your east-west, right? And let's just check the depth of that cut there to make sure we got enough metal there. And it looks like we're good. We're okay, but if not, you could always bump it down an extra tenth if you wanted to, right? And we'll say that's good to go. All right, so we got this out here, a nice little ballerina ring going on so far, and we'll take those and we will go to settings and we'll go to cluster prong here, and it says to select our center gem. We'll select that, and now it says to select our cluster gems, and it'll be these here, and then we'll hit enter. And it gives us some prongs. And I don't want any prongs on the inside there because we're going to, half channel it there. So I'm going to go over here to the style of prong and kind of go through here and maybe these here, right? And we'll take those. And right now we're on our shared inside, which we don't have anything on our inside. So we'll go to our shared outside here. And we'll do a little manipulation over here. Let's see, prongs meshed, off. Don't want them meshed because we're going to be working with it. We could probably leave it and just do a mesh repair at the end, but we'll keep those off for right now. Top diameter, let's go ahead and bump that out. We can use that much thicker. We'll just do a 0.8 perhaps. And of course that base, for right now, we'll just do it at 0.8 as well. Like I said, it's all parametric, so we can go back and edit. Prong nudge, let's bump that in a little. Edge nudge, yeah, right around in there. Gem nudge, I'm not sure. We'll just leave that where it was because it looks pretty good right there. So those look okay. Length, we'll just go ahead and bump that all the way up for right now. And our Z offset, we need to make that a little taller there, right? So we'll do something like this here. Give our craftsman some good meaty prongs to be able to bend over, file down, and cup up nicely. So now what we'll do is we'll go to our unshared inside. We don't have any. Our unshared outside. Okay, that will be these prongs here, and mesh is off. And we'll come in here, top diameter. I think we had it up around a 0.9, so the or 0.8 or something like that, 0.9. So there's no reason not to make those other ones that thick. Oh, that's Jim Nudge. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Ink 0. We'll put that to 0. We want this one up to around a 9 as well. So now that they're the same height, right? And again, we probably want to do some, oh yeah, nudge. And we did do, because they're kind of out there kind of far. So let's go ahead and, let's see here. Jim nudge, let's go in the wrong direction. Let's bump them in. There we go. Something like that there. And so far so good. Our Z offset, let's go ahead. Wrong one, wrong way. Too much. Take that up around the same area as our other ones. So we have all this going on, right? Now I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter from here for right now. And then I'm going to go to my top viewport, go to my curves, and I'm going to scroll down here to get a ellipse or oval. And then I'm just going to click on it, and I am going to change this one to our creation layer, and I'm going to start at F4, and then I'm just going to turn off my snaps here for a second, hold down shift, kind of bring it up this way, and kind of something like that, so that we have that curve down here. And actually that's probably a little big. We can probably make that, I'm going to hold down shift and make it a little smaller. Something like that there. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this curve and go to my parametric offset curve, right? And we're going to offset this curve just slightly. That's 1 millimeter. We'll take it down just a little. Something like that maybe. And then hit enter. And now what we'll do is we'll do a curve from 2 views parametric. We'll select this one, and we will select that one there. And then go ahead and hit enter. Now these are all parametric so far, so everything we do should be able to be updated. So if that curve ends up being a little high, we should be able to drop that down by using going back to the offset and showing it and editing it, right? All right, so we have this out here, and now we want to go back to these prongs here. We want to do some major manipulation on these prongs here. Cluster prong placer, we're going to edit. And then we're going to pick a curve here, and we're just going to select this one here. This curve, I'll have to hold down shift and edit and pick that one, and they'll all drop down in there, but that kind of looks pretty tacky. So what we're going to do is scroll down here at the bottom. And let's see, base tilt. We are going to tilt this puppy pretty hot and heavy so that they kind of like bow out a little, right? Something like that. And then our amount of base, let's go ahead. Is this the one I want? I can't remember here. No, I don't think it is. Let's take that back up to 1. Enable blend curve. I think it's this one here. We'll go ahead and bump this one up quite a bit. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's sorry, that's the wrong one. Let's see, where's it at? Let's take that back. That's affecting that there. All right, so base tilt, major tilt. So it kind of bows out a little bit, right? And actually, I'm going to go ahead and type in a 120. Oh, 120 is not, wrong direction. Ooh, negative 120. So I'm going to go ahead and hit negative 120 and enter. See what that does for me. Oh, type here, negative 120, enter. Didn't really do anything for me, did it? Not as much as I like. So I'm going to go ahead and select that again, type in a negative 150, and then hit enter. And now they're just kind of going a little crazy there, right? So let's just bink, that'll take it back to its original. Let's see. Let's bring this Z offset wrong direction. Let's get that back to where we want it. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Top diameter, base diameter, nudge, yes, 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 okay. Z offset, okay. And then we'll blend to curve, amount. This is the one I want. See how they're starting to bow out? That's the one we want. The enable blend to curve, right below it, the amount, right? So we gotta, where it kind of just drags them nice and ballerinish. Kind of gives you a lot better look, right? That's the one we want. So now we're going to go and we're going to pick our shared outside, right? And we're going to go back and do the same thing to it. So there's our amount, and we're going to just jack that puppy up so we can get a nice curve on those as well. And our tilt amount, I can't remember which way it was. Was it this way? Nope, wrong way. 50-50, right? I had a chance. So now that they're kind of all bumping out. Now you can, there's other commands where we can move them closer together so they kind of like go into little more V parts of the item there, right? You know what I'm saying? Where these three prongs would kind of like go into one and they'd come out. So they'd be a space here, and then they'd be grouped here, here, and then they would kind of group them together, right? But you can play around with those, and we can talk about them again later. Okay, so we have our ballerina for the most part out here, looking pretty decent, I think. And we'll just go ahead and slap that profile onto the inside here. So let's go ahead and hit enter here. And let's hold down shift control and grab that curve, and we'll go back to tools and grab a profile. And again, we'll go ahead and change this one to this puppy here. And then of course, we're going to go in and make that from center, right? So put that down one, go ahead and click enter, and we have that out there. And it's kind of at a slight angle. Maybe that's okay though. Yeah, I don't really like it. Let's go ahead and bump that straight, or pretty close to being straight, and then go ahead and make it smaller and smaller, something like that. Let's go ahead and activate auto sweep so we can kind of see what's going on. And all those prongs are going in there. We've got some knife height in there, something like that maybe. And as you can see, we're a little off our ring rail, right? How much? Let's go to front. Yeah, quite a bit actually. All right, so let's go ahead and take that. So I'll click, right click in the viewport here, and that'll deactivate. Let's go to that offset curve, and let's do an edit on that. And let's just bring this down a little. Ooh. Something like that. Oh, it shifted my... Oh, that looks pretty cool. Well, let's back out of that. I don't know what's going on. Let's go ahead and do a... This will take this and this one. Let's go ahead and ungroup those. Okay, so maybe it'll stick to that one. Let's do an edit on this thing here now. No, it's going to stick to it. Well, that's no big deal, really, because what we can do is we'll have to go ahead and get rid of this thing. Well, actually, if we take this, I wonder. Let's go ahead and turn on our, let's check this out here. Let's take this curve here and this profile and this item here, and let's just see. It's going to break history, but it should update for us. It did not. So let's go back. We don't want to break history. Let's go ahead and just get rid of this here then, I guess. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of this profile here. And we'll just redo that. So we'll grab this here, our curve, delete it. And our curve's already out there, right? Oh, broke history. So let's go back before I do that. Keep it there for right now, because we want to keep our history on our cluster, right? We'll go here. And we will go to curve from two views, this one here to this one here, and then hit enter. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and break these two up right away. And I'm just going to drag this one up just a pinch. And it broke history. So let's back out of that. And I am going to go back to these here, edit those, and then get rid of this curve here. And we are going to pick the one below it this time. We'll hit enter, and then we're going to pick this one, and then go back. Well, let's pick this, edit, and then let's go in here, and we're going to grab this one this time. And now it just goes down to that curve, right? No big deal. All right, and let's put our ring rail back on. Let's go ahead and accept this for right now. Let's turn our ring rail back on so I can kind of see what's going on here. Show. And yeah, it kind of goes in there just a little too much, right? Okay, let's go back to our offset curve. Now let's bring this one down a little, hit enter. And let's go ahead and go back to our prongs, kind of just playing around with it to try and get it to that curve to work good. And I'll go in here and then we'll pick that one at the top again. This one here. Yeah, there we go. Yep, much better. That's what I'm looking for right there, right on my ring rail, right? And then I can go in here, select this. We first hit enter, then I can select that curve there, go to my I forget profile placer, select that curve, control shift, and it's out there. And this time we'll go again and we'll change that up, and we will, it's on, so we're going to put it in the center, and we're going to go ahead and clean that up a little bit, make it straight, right? And then this one we'll go ahead and drag it down, and then we'll drag it over 1.9, and we'll go ahead and activate auto switch so we can kind of see what's going on, right? Yeah, there we go. All right, and we'll go ahead and enter. It just really depends on how high you want them, right? We can always go back to our original gem, and we can drop that. Oh, wrong one. Let's back out of that before I get too crazy. Let's go ahead and get our gem here. It's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted, and bring those down, and everything updates, right? So I can kind of move it around depending on how high I want it. Everything updates, so I can kind of, after I get it set up, oh, no, why'd you do that? You gotta be careful, of course. Make sure you're picking the right stuff. I'm gonna drop them down into about here. Yeah, there we go. Looks much better. And then hit enter. So everything is updating. And I'm going to go ahead and take all that yellow now and just kind of hide it to gray for right now. And what we need to do is go back to our curves. We'll go ahead and extract an iso curve from this surface here, and I'll drag that right in the center where it disappears. Click on it and go to gems on curve, and that one's right there where we wanted. So let's swing these around and butt those pretty close together, and we'll go ahead and target our surface here, right here. And now we'll need to get those to size. So let's see here. Let's make them a little bit smaller here, and we'll go ahead and make them quite a bit smaller. We just want a little bit of fanciness to it. And then we'll go ahead and go from girdle to table. And I'm going to drop them down just a smidgen more. Might as well. It's kind of nice and thick, so I'll select that. And then I'm going to go back here and select my stones and go ahead and go to cutters, channel cutter. And I'm going to go to my preferences and turn on enable wireframe when running edits, right? And actually I don't have to do this now because they're not at the top, but that's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and change that profile to one that I like better. And then I will go in here and placement all the way up. And then grab this puppy here, height, and drag it down somewhere around here, looks like. Maybe a little bit more. Something like that, it looks like. Should be okay. And I'll go back to my preferences and turn that puppy off. All right, so we have this set up and it looks like it's going to make a nice cut for us. So we'll go ahead and hit enter, and we'll go to solids, and we'll go Boolean difference. This surface here, enter, this surface here, enter, and enter. And we have these. We'll go to our prong settings, put those bad boys out there, and bump that up a smidge. And we can separate those a little bit. Don't need to be so close together. Maybe this one can come in just a pinch, right? And we got that there. All right, so far so good. And everything should be still parametric. So if I come over here, go to my ring rail and select size 10, everything updates, right? And I can move that stone if I wanted to, and I can move those outside gem curves or gem guides, and it would change everything up. So there's a lot we can do from this point, right? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this rel, and I'm going to turn it to this peach color here and turn it off. It's still tied to that ring rail, but we're going to go here and grab something else. We're going to go to solids here. Well, actually tools, and we're going to grab a cathedral ring rail. And I'm going to do a little manipulation here. We'll bump this out to 2.5, and we will bump this one down to 2.5 as well. And over here in the top, we'll just kind of drag those out some. Something like that perhaps, and we'll go ahead and hit enter for right now. I'm going to go back to my because I forgot to put those under bezels on the stones, and we'll do that. We'll manipulate these a little bit. I definitely do not want them that thick, so we'll go ahead and drag up that height, maybe around here, and we can go ahead and angle those in a little bit. They don't need to be so heavy out there. And I am going to get rid of that dome and then drag them up a little higher. Height, position, we'll take them up somewhere around here. And kind of look in my hole there in the bottom, and it's kind of 0.8. That's probably okay. Let's take this, just make it straight through. And I'll go ahead and turn off my blue for a second, just to kind of And let's go ahead and bump that so that it kind of goes to a little V there. Yeah, there we go. All right, and then I'll take those and bring back my stones. So got those out there. All right. Now, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and add some kind of a profile on the end here. So let's just go and grab tools, grab a profile, and depending on what kind of profile you want on there, it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and snap it to our outside ring row right here. And we can do some manipulation with this puppy. Let's go ahead and mirror that over to the other side. So anything we do to this one will be done to that one. And we will, let's switch profile. I don't know. Let's go something like this. Why not? And we'll kind of bump that in a little bit. And actually, well, I don't want to do, we can do an auto sweep. We're going to do some manipulation. I'm not sure I really like that though. Let's go back to profile here. Let's grab something like this one. Yeah, I need a hot eater. Well, anyway, I'll just grab something and we can get moving on this. So we have this out here, right? And it goes over pretty well. And there's a lot of things, you know, we could, you know, turn on points and make that to a point. There's all kind of things we can do. Let's go back to the oval and just check that out here real quick. Yeah, that one's really not too bad. I'm going to make this a little thinner here. Something like this. And then I'm going to go down here and hold down shift and place one right here. But this one I'm going to go ahead and we're going to bump that up. Something maybe around 4.5. So it gives it a little bit more look, right? And let's see. We'll go back to this one here. And actually, we can go ahead and accept that. And we'll just grab that outside ring rail curve because we can manipulate this all day long too, right? And we'll just kind of bump that in just a little bit and give it some little, make it a little thinner there. And then we'll go ahead and take that. We'll go back to that profile. I mean, you can play around with this all day long. I won't take up too much more of your time. We'll just do something like, I want them touching those other prongs. Something like this, perhaps. And then we'll hit enter. Right? So let's see. Do I have a cap on there? Doesn't look like it. Oh, that's right. I did a sweep with it. So I'm not going to have the cap. So let's go back to that and make sure that we have those caps. So I'm going to deactivate that auto sweep. It was just for reference, right? And keep the mirror there and everything. And now we'll go ahead and we'll do a sweep 2 on it. It just helped me be able to check everything out as we're playing around with it to see how it's going to look. And then we'll go ahead and hit enter. And we have that out here. And we'll hit enter. Now we have a closed poly surface, right? And the last thing we really need to do, I mean, we could put some stones on there. I'm not going to waste your time on that. Is go back to our tools and we'll just grab another profile and we'll add it here. This one we will go ahead and change it to this thing here. And we'll go ahead and do a little manipulation here. 1.8, that should be nice. And then we'll drop it down to maybe 1.3, and we'll place one right up in here, and then we'll go ahead and hit enter, wireframe, and surface 1, this one, and this one, and hit enter, and then enter, and then we'll just take that and transform, mirror over to our other side, and enter, and we should be good to go. You can drag that further down in. It's on our other side here, though. Or once you manipulate it, right, let's go back to here, and then select this one here, and then just kind of maybe bump it up in there. There we go. And we are pretty much done. We have a nice little ballerina style, and we could have these stones as maybe rubies or sapphires, right? And then we could have these smaller ones as diamonds. There's all kind of things you could kind of set this up as. And if we wanted to, I believe we could still update everything. So change this to a from an oval to a cushion cut and see what happens, and everything updates accordingly, right? Pretty cool, huh? And let's see, cushion to, I don't know about a marquee, but we can try. Yeah, not a marquee. But any kind of, probably pretty close to the oval, right? But there's all kind of things you could do. That's round's fine, right? And then go to back to our oval. And so there's all kind of manipulation you can do there. And you go back, everything's parametric of our ring. Go to edit on our ring, right? Change our ring size to a size 10 1/4. Everything should update for, oh, that's our original ring size, right? We took that to 10 1/4. That'll update. We'll have to go back to our cathedral ring rail and edit that to a 10 1/4 to get that shank going too. So it's probably better to have the idea of what you're wanting beforehand, but you can definitely get that. I mean, change them really easy. And I will do one last thing here. I'm going to grab that curve. Oh, on the other side there. Oh, I turned off yellow. Which one was it? I think it's this side. And I'm going to go back to edit it, and I am going to actually, on curve, I am just going to drag that down just a little, something like that, and hit enter. Right. But there's all kind of, it's pretty much parametric for the most part, but tons of stuff you can do. So hopefully this kind of gives you some more ideas and ways of designing different and new things, but that's pretty cool. And we could kind of play around with these prongs more to get them in different kinds of shapes as well. But hopefully this helped you, and if it did, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and please try and make it to the show on the 14th, I think it is. 13th at 11 o'clock Central USA time. So thanks for watching, and good designing.